So Modern Warfare 3 was revealed, and we've already discussed a ton of what there is available to discuss from the reveal itself to details that I learned while at Sledgehammer's offices in San Francisco pre-reveal. However, a lot of what we discussed didn't focus around in-game details, but instead more top-level things. One of the big things a lot of people have had questions with Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer in particular was around the introduction of how perks will work, or rather gear as it's classified in Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer experience. Today, we're going to be breaking down some new leaks here that propose the list of some of that gear, boots and gloves, how it will affect Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer, and what you need to know out of it. So as we go along, drop your thoughts down below on what you'd like to see out of Modern Warfare 3. Are you liking what we're hearing so far about the game? Not so much. Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, you'll find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 3, XDefiant, and more as we gear up for an incredibly busy next few months for games and content. With that said, let's jump into it. So today's information comes from El Barberto, or previously Bob Network UK, who's leaked a ton of stuff here in regards to Modern Warfare 3 and its multiplayer already, going back to so much so as leaking images of in-game screenshots from like a month or two before the actual game itself was revealed, before anything was officially known. Like we said, Modern Warfare 3 kind of debuted things a lot later than normal, still kind of in line with what we saw with Black Ops Cold War and Vanguard, but with no real official mention of anything. Those games at least had some confirmation of who the developers were. Modern Warfare 3, officially speaking, not up until recently. But anyways, Bob ended up tweeting out two things in particular. The first one stated, here's all the boots perk options in Modern Warfare 3. Canvas sneakers, which will eliminate footstep sounds. Stalker boots, which increase strafe and ADS movement speeds. Tactical pads, which increase slide distances and allow for full ADS while sliding, and also increase the stance transition speeds and crouch movement speeds. Ultralight boots, which increase movement and swim speeds and reduce noise while swimming. Running sneakers, which increases tac sprint duration and reduces refresh time, and the climbing boots, which increase climbing and mantling speed, additionally reducing fall damage. Then about a half hour later, he tweeted, here is all the glove perk options within Modern Warfare 3. Assault gloves, while jumping, accuracy and time to ADS is improved. Custom gloves, which increases weapon swap speed. Scavenger gloves, which resupplies ammo and throwing knives from dead players. Specialist gloves, which throw equipment further, also resetting fuse timer on thrown back grenades. Tactical combat gloves, which enable reload while sprinting, and marksman gloves, which will apparently reduce sway and flinch while ADS. Now, first and foremost, one of the big things to consider with all this kind of stuff, until it is actually confirmed, take all this stuff with a grain of salt. That's something that should be mentioned with all leaks that we ever discuss, and I think we do a good job of reminding you of that, but just make sure that right now, none of that is confirmed, but again, other stuff that Bob has leaked has checked out in the past, has come true, and has come to pass. So it's very possible that this stuff also does, and in which case, well, a lot of these may seem familiar. Obviously, they sound like original perks. Things like canvas sneakers are essentially your dead silence, or rather ninja, perhaps. Stalker boots, of course, just stalker. Running sneakers is essentially your double time. Climbing boots has remnants of what lightweight used to be back in the day with no fall damage. Scavenger gloves, obviously just scavenger perk. Custom gloves kind of being your fast hands with that weapon swap speed. Marksman gloves being like your toughness perk in prior games as well. So you kind of see where those patterns come into play. And of course, all of this is now on top of previously leaked vests that were out there, where the gunner vest was something that would apparently give you two primaries. The grenadier vest would be similar to bomb squad, taking reductions from non-kill streak explosives. The infantry vest was similar to quick fix, apparently, where killing enemies would end up triggering health regeneration immediately. A scout vest, apparently similar to spotter, in which you could see equipment, field upgrades, kill streaks in all of your enemies, while also being able to hack their equipment. And the tactical vest being previously leaked, where it's thought to have a similar effect to tactician, spawning an extra piece of tactical equipment every single time you jump into the fight. So we're starting to see this larger picture here of how everything will work, and it seems like in regards to offering, there's a lot of stuff to detail here with this, especially if there is any other segment that goes on top of this kind of stuff, because I mean, at this point, we kind of see that list given was 6 gloves, 6 boots, anywhere from 5 to 6 vests. So if there's anything more, I mean, that's 17 to 18 perks right out of the gate that we may have from day one in Modern Warfare 3. Now, of course, you can probably break this into, well, the good and the bad of this system proposed. Firstly, I want to start out with the good here. To me, there's no more gimmicky timers to your perks now at this point. That is an absolute win. Now, we'll talk about it in a second, where the inverse of that could also be a gimmick, but we'll get to that in a second. But I mean, the fact that we no longer will have timers here for this, you can have your perks right up front here at the very beginning of the game. I don't know why that was ever changed within Modern Warfare 2. There was so much stuff with Modern Warfare 2 that just trying to change the wheel for the sake of changing the wheel. That was one of those things that I just did not like, did not understand. And I mean, even today at this point, the ultimate still has a bit of a charge rate here to it. But I mean, your air quote bonus perk, that third perk you get it within like the first 30 seconds to a minute. So why just not even take that timer off? You're getting it naturally without having to do anything else that quick. So like, why do we even need a timer to begin with? But additionally, because of this, because there are no perk packages associated with this here now, that also may transfer over into Warzone in the next iteration here that we see for the following year. One thing that maybe makes me hopeful for is the return of lootable perks. I absolutely loved the fact that in Warzone 1, Raven introduced the lootable perk system, that you could end up getting individual perks from different supply boxes, and it changed the entire dynamic of how you could interact with the game. Eventually, you could also end up just getting Specialist bonus. Specialist does not work within Modern Warfare 2 because of this perk package system. It's yet to be seen if Specialist will be something we see in Modern Warfare 3, but I mean, disjointing all of these perks, maybe opening the way for those to be lootable again. Maybe you do see something like Specialist bonus within Warzone in the Modern Warfare 3 year, whether by actual like token that you could end up buying or looting like you could in the earlier iterations of Specialist bonus within Warzone, or if it's something that you just ultimately get there by accumulating enough individual perks that you could loot. That's one thing that I'm kind of hopeful for that I actually liked out of the end of Warzone 1. Additionally, there's a lot of variability in player choice at this point. There is, if this list holds up, a bunch of things that will create some player choice. Things like canvas sneakers. Do you want to eliminate your footstep sounds, or do you want to be able to have those stalker boots for increased strafe and ADS move speed? Or do you want to have those running sneakers to effectively be your double time to increase attack sprint duration and reduce the refresh time? There's multiple different choices that if you can only pick one, it's definitely going to cause some variability here, and you're not going to have crutch perks, or rather equipment, boots, gloves, and stuff like that. So it's definitely nice in that regard that we start to see it break up, or at least that's the way that I see it. Now, again, I guess you could say that there are definitely some cons here or some bad to this, and I'm sure that you could absolutely make that case that this as well is kind of gimmicky, where it's just a reskin of perks and a gimmicky feature in order to be anything but calling it perks. But for that part, honestly, I'm not too bothered if it's just like gimmicky in name or gimmicky in how it's presented. If it effectively does the same thing and can give us anywhere from 3 to 4 perks at base, well, I think that's what Modern Warfare 2 should have done. And I feel like that's kind of the entire overarching statement of Modern Warfare 3 and what we know so far. But beyond that, the only other thing that I see is that there's the real prospect that since these are on our operator's person and the model, that we could effectively see equipment skins being introduced here for perks. We've seen it slowly tested in phases like the grenade skins from the Crash Bandicoot bundle and other utility items in Modern Warfare 2 so far, so we've already seen an absurd amount of operator skins in the last 4 years, so what's to say those two aren't combined and we have that applied to underlying perk systems that are now visually represented in the way of gloves, boots, and anything else that may be introduced here. That's my only big fear here for this entire system, that there's going to be another way to monetarily incentivize purchases here with this, or another thing to stack into bundles to either inflate those prices further or to give less content of actual substance, but instead, hey, you're getting a weapon blueprint, but you're also getting a weapon charm, emblem, gun screen, loading screen, and hey, let's throw in a couple of perk skins as well in there. That stuff I don't care about, but the weapon skin, if it's a camo or a blueprint that's really cool, well, I'd want that, but not for the price of 2,400 COD points, 3,000 COD points, because there's all that other stuff added in. That's my big fear here with this system, that they're trying to introduce more things on a cosmetic level that can then be monetarily exploited. That's my big fear here, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe that's something that we just don't actually see that happen and we're just fearing for the worst. That's possible, but I mean, I guess we'll see. We'll have to cross that bridge when we get there. But for now, that's the information that we learned out of the recently leaked perks here of the gloves as well as boots, and some additional food for thought on the underlying perk system. That said, that is what we're going to call it. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down below. What do you guys think of the perk system here and how it's introduced so far? Do you like the sound of this? Do you maybe not so much? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 3, X-Defiant, and still some Modern Warfare 2 coverage here and there. But if you're interested in staying up to date with any of that kind of stuff and any other FPS content, I'd love to have you in the community. For now, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.